Welcome to Swedish History in Brief. In this episode, we'll explore the fascinating journey of belief in Sweden, from the powerful Norse gods of the Viking Age to the rich tapestry of faith and secularism in modern times. Let's travel back to the Viking Age, from the 800s to the 1100s. The Norse gods were at the heart of spiritual life. Deities like Odin, Thor, and Freya played central roles in the stories, rituals, and everyday worldview of the people. Odin, the All-Father, was associated with wisdom, war, and poetry. According to myth, he sacrificed one of his eyes at the Well of Mimir in exchange for knowledge. Thor, god of thunder, wielded his hammer Mjolnir to protect gods and humans alike. Freya, linked to love and fertility, also received fallen warriors into her hall, Folkvangr. Worship involved rituals, feasts, and sacrifices. One of the most important sites was Old Uppsala, where, according to medieval chronicler Adam of Bremen, grand sacrifices and festivals were held. These beliefs weren't just spiritual, they were deeply social, reinforcing honor, bravery, and community values. The afterlife held special meaning. Warriors who died bravely might go to Valhalla, Odin's hall, or to Freya's hall. Others might end up in Hell, a more shadowy and neutral realm. Where you ended up depended on how you lived, and how you died. Starting in the 900s, Sweden began to convert to Christianity, slowly and unevenly. Old Norse religion remained strong in many areas well into the 1100s. But Christian ideas were gaining ground, often through trade, diplomacy, and the ambitions of kings. In 829, a missionary named Enskar arrived in Birka, one of Sweden's key trading hubs. His mission saw limited success, but it planted seeds. Over the next 2 centuries, Christian influence grew, thanks to contacts with Christian Europe. A turning point came with King Olaf Skakkonung, considered Sweden's first Christian king. Baptized around 1008, he established Sweden's first bishopric in Skara. For kings like him, Christianity wasn't just a matter of faith, it was politics. The church offered alliances, legitimacy, and a broader European identity. Still, many communities kept their old ways, especially in the countryside. It wasn't uncommon for churches to be built next to ancient sacrificial sites, symbolizing a spiritual transition more than a clean break. By the late 1100s, Sweden was officially Christian, and the church began to influence governance, education, and law. Fast forward to the 1500s. The Protestant Reformation was sweeping through Europe, and Sweden wasn't immune. Inspired by Martin Luther's ideas, Swedish leaders started to challenge the authority of the Catholic Church. The real shift happened under King Gustav Vasa. In 1527, the Riksdag of Västerås marked the start of the Swedish Reformation. By the 1530s, the Church of Sweden had broken from Rome and become a Lutheran state church. This wasn't just a religious change, it was also about royal power. Church lands were confiscated, and religious authority moved closer to the crown. One milestone was the 1541 publication of the Bible in Swedish. Suddenly, people could read scripture for themselves. Literacy became a priority, and the church played a massive role in education. But with this new power came new rules. Catholic practices were outlawed, and dissent was often punished. Over time, Lutheranism became deeply woven into Swedish life, in rituals, holidays, and community life. In the 1800s, change was in the air. Revival movements and free churches began to challenge the monopoly of the state church. People wanted a more personal and expressive faith. By the 1900s, secularism was rising. Fewer Swedes went to church, and public life became less tied to religion. In 2000, the Church of Sweden was officially separated from the state, ending centuries of formal connection. Today, about half the population still belongs to the Church of Sweden, but regular attendance is low. Many Swedes identify as cultural Christians, they celebrate Christmas and Easter, but don't necessarily see themselves as religious. At the same time, Sweden became more diverse. Immigration brought new faiths, especially Islam, now the second largest religion. There are also Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, and even small but passionate neo-pagan communities. Meanwhile, secular humanism took hold. For many, ethics and meaning are shaped more by human values and social responsibility than by religious doctrine. Today, Sweden is known for religious freedom and tolerance. People can explore spirituality however they choose, through organized religion, personal belief, or not at all. Christianity is still part of the cultural fabric, but many Swedes lean more on secular values. Human rights, equality, and compassion often guide public debates and personal ethics. That said, belief hasn't disappeared. It's just more diverse and individual. you'll find churches, mosques, temples, and meditation centers across the country. Norse-inspired paganism has even made a small comeback, especially among those seeking a connection to ancient traditions. What ties it all together is freedom, the freedom to believe, to question, or to simply celebrate tradition without needing to explain it. Thanks for watching. We'd love to hear how belief has shaped your part of the world too.